Hi friends. Well, we made it. We made it into Holy Week, to this last of our Lenten Wednesday times together. And so I want to take this moment to really appreciate all of the time that we have spent together over this season. It's really been a lovely time to set aside a few minutes for me to come into our sacred space and to invite you into the time to make sacred space where you are. I hope that you have really enjoyed some of these. You've been able to share them with friends or family, or just to take a couple minutes for yourself. So today I wanted to talk a little about what the journey is this week. In that Holy Week time, Wednesday isn't a specific holiday, but we're in that walk to the end. It begins with Palm Sunday, with all of that triumph and that joy and exultation that happens on that Palm Sunday. But it ends in so much death. And if you are feeling that way this week, I really invite you to find where you are in that journey. Are you still on Palm Sunday, or are you heading into Good Friday? To make that space in your bodies. To know that there is that journey to come. Even if it feels like every day is Good Friday, even if it feels like the world is always crashing down, we are in a journey. We are on a walk together. And it won't end this week, even if our little Wednesday moments do. And maybe they don't have to. Do you have an idea that you want to share with us? Maybe we can keep this going. I'd love to really find a way to walk forward into this Easter season, continuing to find the Spirit, the sacred God with us in each step. So I invite you to ruminate on that this week as well, to find what is calling you. What is your story to give this community? What is your story to share with yourself? And let's do it. Let's go into the Easter season, ready to find what Lent has started in us and what Easter might continue in us. With joy and expectation, with longing and despair, the church year flows through us to remind us that there's always another thing around the corner, because that's life. We are in life together because we are God's people. So remember that this week. And find your way forward, be it through music or art, story, conversation, maybe a joke. Be here. Be now. Know that you are on sacred ground. So are you an onion person? Recently, I was given a bag of onions. And we love onions in my family. We really do. We use them all the time. But knowing that I have this many onions, all of that to use before they start to grow on me, I decided to shred them up and throw them into the freezer. But maybe there's a leak in the bag. Maybe there's something else happening. Rather than just having it contained to that 1 gallon-sized bag of onions, that smell of onions permeated not just that bag or the freezer, but the fridge, and it had started to permeate the kitchen entirely. Our lives had become surrounded by onions. It's not a smell that automatically makes you cry when it's frozen, but it reminds you of those times where you cried over cooking. Maybe it was for taco meat, or maybe lasagna. Maybe you don't use onions in your life. I've even had a friend who was allergic to them. But for us and our family, onions are an everyday thing. But when it overwhelms you and it permeates your entire house, it's a little different. That's kind of like this week, this Holy Week, where we have gone from seeing Jesus out there on the horizon heading to death to being fully immersed in it. The disciples, Jesus, they are surrounded by a house full of onion smell. They can't get it off of themselves. Judas is about to betray Jesus at a meal the next day. We sit here in Holy Week, surrounded by the onions of our lives. Not able to make a frittata yet, but that's coming. Not able to see the other side of it yet. We haven't used them to cook. We haven't used them to give to others. They're just sitting here, filling our space. The onions of Holy Week. The onions of our lives, those little things that we can't get away from. That's what Wednesday feels like for me this year. It's here. Easter is here. I can feel it around me, but I can't figure out where it's coming from. Good Friday, I can feel it around me, but I can't quite get it yet. On Wednesday, we just make space. Maybe we make space to shred the onions. Maybe we make space to use them. Maybe we just make space to say to our family and friends, do you smell those onions? Or is it just me? We all smell it. It's hard. It's great. It's overwhelming. This is Wednesday. This is Holy Week. For our last time together, I'd like to invite you into the space to claim your breath as God's breath, to celebrate where you are, to fill up your lungs, your body, your soul with God's healing breath, to breathe in deeply and to blow out all of God's love. God's love goes with you, here and everywhere.